Alright. We have to call the roll again, right?
If you'd like, yes, we can
Yes.
call the roll.
Okay. Alright, we now have had more members join us, so we're gonna call the roll again, just to certify that we have quorum. So Khalid, if you could call the roll.
No problem. Fernando Alvarez, still absent. David Giordano.
David? Yeah, present.
Okay. David Giordano's present. John Green.
Here.
Thank you. Kara Jerez Austin, still absent. James Kemp. Present. Malik McCullough, still absent. Jennifer Meyer.
Present.
Jessica Morris.
Here.
Hayward Mouton, still absent. Tanya Phelps.
Here.
Thank you. Ashrid Rodriguez.
Present.
Isaac Scott, still excused. Russell Schuler. Loretta So, still absent. You have quorum now.
Alright, thank you so much. Alright, thank you everyone for your patience. The agenda and the minutes were sent out in advance. I need to we could vote on the minutes, but for the future, I will be going back and I appreciate those of you who have been helping with the minutes, but I will be going back and making them just a little bit more detailed. That's not me like digging at anyone, I appreciate the help. So anyway, they were sent out in advance, so is there any objection to the minutes or the agenda? Alright, seeing no hands, the agenda has been adopted and the minutes will be available on the board website. I'm like, I can't talk today. Alright, next slide. Alright, is there any announcements? I'm pretty sure if there's any other announcements from the district, I will leave those for whoever is the representative coming on today. I appreciate seeing the turnout at the legislative breakfast, which Jessica mentioned before we got on. We had about like 5 members there, which was great for the schools to see us walking around. I think we pretty much got to every school between the 5 of us. So that's great. James, thank you. Your kids, I would just like to shout out James and Manhattanese because his kids went up there and they advocated for what they need. So we will be actually inviting them back to come and give a more detailed presentation because like I always say we should have the kids come if they can and present to us because that's what gets the lawmakers to open up the wallets. So, any other announcements? Alright,
I have an announcement, sorry.
Who is that?
Dr. Cruz.
Alright, just give me a second. There is one more, we have been talking about the building of the Nightingale Banford School. There has been a lot of talk about the new sports facility that's going up. I have been, just for the record, I have invited them to come to meetings and I have received no direct response about that. And my policy is I will not meet with anyone alone because I think that the whole committee's opinion should be heard, not just I'm not the committee, you all are the committee. But they are holding a community event on Thursday. So if anyone would like the information for that, I know we held at Amor Cubano on 111th Street at 6 p.m. So I think that's a good way for us to go and talk to them, maybe convince them to come present to us. From what I understand, the land has already been purchased.
They're already building.
They're already building, so basically what we can do is basically try to get something out of it for the community. So I think, I know a lot of people don't want it to happen, but I think we should see it as, this is just my opinion, see what we could get out of it. Because they're here and they're gonna stay. So, what is it?
Just to clarify, the sort of ask would be for local East Harlem residents to be able to use the facilities
Yes.
without prohibitive costs or other restrictions. Is that kind of?
That's what I've heard. I'm just saying stuff that I've heard general, I'll get you in a second. This is just the general consensus and this is just my opinion. If people still feel strongly one certain way, yeah. Tanya and then I'll go James.
I know a lot of people that had a meeting about
this facility. So the word is that they are gonna open it up to the community. We just don't know how. But if the ask is, because I know so many people there, I will try to contact and then put you in contact.
I have been in contact. It's just the response I receive is, we want to meet with you to hear what the community wants. And like I have said many times before, and I will keep saying, I am not going to have a meeting with someone by myself to advocate for a community. That's not how I function. I would rather have more people be able to ask questions than just them hear what I say. That's my only ask.
About several months ago, they came to a full board meeting and did the 3-minute
And I was not
presentation.
notified.
I think Xavier had been in contact with them and then, had asked them to come. And during that full board meeting was the first that some of us ever heard about what was happening.
Yes.
Really. And then we requested them to be, and they did reach out to me, but they had originally reached out to me to gain some information about the community, not what they were necessarily doing. And again, I had not met with them. It was not a priority for me at that time. But again, they weren't really clear what the project was. And as Ash mentioned during that meeting, it was like, whoa, come meet with us. And they continued to reach out to Ash, both me and Ash, but then Ash individually, and wanted to just meet with him. And if you're coming to present to the board, this is the place that you come, to the committee.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that we don't have follow-up meetings or correspondence afterwards. But what I find very interesting is they've reached out to me again through my agency, through Children's Aid, which took a different route. And in the aspect, we continue to reach out to have them come here and Minute 9. So we are invited to go, and I'm going to go. But I'm not making any requests at that moment. I'm going to observe and listen.
Yes. I'm just gonna take one more question from James, and then I would like to continue just because this wasn't necessarily an agenda item today. This is like an ongoing thing. People have been asking me about it, so I want to just give the information that I have right now. I will probably get some more information on Thursday. Xavier and David will be there. So.
Yeah, I didn't really have a question. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that Manhattan East is having a turkey giveaway tomorrow. There's 30 slots left from 4 to 5. That's it.
That's great.
Yeah, so the email.
Yeah.
I will now, because Dr. Christie had her hand up, I'm now going to go to is there any more announcements? I will now go to Dr. Christie because she had her hand up and was waiting patiently. So, and this is the city agency updates.
Thank you. And I apologize for being late. I in full transparency, I got the dates confused. I'm so used to the meetings being on Tuesday that I got the dates confused. So I apologize. And thank you to Manhattan East to saving the day with the turkey giveaway. I did put the link in the chat. We also are partnering with the American Heart Association. We are committed to ensuring that we train as many people as possible with CPR AED training. And that's happening on November 20th. We have a Zoom link for that to start. We have over 150 youth registered because this is their life-saving skill that's really important. And then just to share that if there's any families in need, whether of anything, to please continue to reach out because it's very important for us to get the supports to all of our families. Thank you to the entire Community Board 11, and we really appreciate everything you do for our community. And on an exciting note, at 007, they started, we're going to send out more flyers, but on Saturdays, we have free soccer, ages 2nd grade and up. We're trying to work on kindergarten and 1st grade, but any D4 students who would like to play soccer on Saturdays, the building is open here at 007 on 120th in Lexington. And then tomorrow, our students are going to see for the first their new cafeteria. So the cafeteria enhancement project is complete here, and they have a fully renovated cafeteria here that's absolutely beautiful and is air conditioned now. So very exciting.
Nice.
72 next. I would like to just also, as the holidays are coming around, I just would like to shout out the district and their closet that they have for any family to come. If you know of any families, not just our newest New Yorkers, but also any families in the district who are in need. What?
Say what it is.
Oh, I'm just getting there. It's a closet with basically, I'm pretty sure you guys have lots of clothes, new clothes, socks, underwear, all different sizes. I suggest you ask Dr. Christie for a tour because it is insane how they turn that classroom into something so big. And also, Dr. Christie, if you do have the time, our presentation today, I think is a great opportunity for our students who love to write to participate in a competition. So if you do have the time to stay for a little bit, I would appreciate it. If not, I will pass on the information to you. Any questions for Dr. Christie? Yeah, Thomas.
Where is the free soccer located? I know you said 120th Lexington. Is there the name of a school or?
007. I think.
It's
I think you mean-
Samuel Stern School, and it's I'll put it in the chat, the name of the school and the address.
Thank you.
And I have to say that we're going to also this was their first Saturday. So we had about 20 students this Saturday. But we're going to try to get even more students. We have a principals meeting coming up, so we're going to share, because this is relatively all new, our new soccer fields here, and there's even a learning center. And something else that the community board should know is that this building is open for the weekend for the seed services, and we also have a weekend academy at 4M108 at School of Authors for students who are doing makeup services in the community, and that's Monday through Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m. to make sure that every child gets their entitled services. The best side, OT, PT, and so forth.
So if anyone has any question, does anyone have any further questions for Dr. Christie right now? She's very good at responding to her email, and her email is in the chat. I can get it to anyone who needs it. So, is there any? Dr. Christie, can you just say out loud your email quickly?
Yes, my email is KDELACR. It's the first 6 letters of my last name. So it's KDELACR at schools.nyc.gov. If you put my whole last name, it's going to go to Karina, and I'm not going to get your email. So please remember to do the first 6 letters of my last name.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Christie. So I'm pretty sure it's Kalera's on, because she was telling me she was going to be on from CC4.
No, look, I have Johanna Dominguez.
Yeah, Johanna could go.
Hi.
Hi, Johanna.
Hi, Johanna.
Johanna, you're muted.
Oh, that was so fun. I was talking and talking without. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Sorry for coming a little late, but I'm here. That's the important part. So our CEC meeting was this last Wednesday, November the 12th. We did it in PS 83, PS 82. That is in the 219 East and the 109th Street. So our agenda was, we have quorum. So we finally elect a secretary, that is Lawanda Joyner, our new secretary. We also passed 3 resolutions. We passed the resolutions to bring back NYC Public School the students detained for nights. we passed a resolution so engage the dissolution of the Department of Education and to restore education funds, and resolution of restorative justice practice in our schools. We finalized the agenda around, like, we finished the meeting around like 7:50, 8 o'clock. We did a pretty quick meeting. So no, so far it's just that. Oh, as a guest, we have the NYC Department of Young and Community Development and
DYCD.
Community Action Board. So no, so far that was our date. It was really successful meeting. Our next meeting is going to be November the 10th. And all of you are welcome. If you have questions here, you know, I'm not so knowledgeable as Karine, as Kalidis, but I survive. I'm surviving a few places.
It's a Monday, it's a great Monday. And you meet December 10th, correct?
Yes, yes. Mhm.
Alright, just so the committee knows, because we have a lot of new people, typically when the CEC does vote on a resolution, I will present it to the committee to see if we would like to adopt it, if we would like to, create our own resolution. I will work on getting those to you before next month's meetings, that way we can either vote on it next month, I would like to vote on it next month before the holidays, but if not, we could wait the 1 month for people to analyze it, but when I was in the meeting, it didn't seem like anything too crazy for us to not be able to like read and do our research before next month. So, is there any questions for Johanna and CEC 4? Alright, thank you, Johanna, appreciate you.
You're welcome, and thanks all of you. And please come to the meetings, enjoy the community, know your schools. I know that you know already Dr. De La Cruz, but she gives us an extensive and a more beautiful details of everything on it. So we support each other in the meetings. So you are welcome to be on Zoom, in person, and we as community be successful together. Thank you.
Congrats on the legislative breakfast. Right. Okay. We're now gonna go CC 5. Is there anyone here from CC 5?
I don't know. There's a person with their hand raised, Lacey Vargas.
That sounds correct.
That's the EC5?
I think so.
Okay, hold on, I'll promote.
They've changed a lot of their representation.
Hi, Lacey, you had your hand raised. Are you?
Yes, sorry, can you hear me? This is my first time going to a meeting.
Hi.
Yes,
Hi.
Lacey, go ahead.
I just wanted to say hi. I'm not 100% sure how that works. I want to say hi to James. I know we know each other. I teach at Manhattan East, so I just know some people were mentioning Manhattan East, and just wanted to support the community and support everything that the students are doing. And thank you, Dr. De La Cruz, for your chat. I heard amazing things from the people who participated advocating for elevators. So it's just wonderful to know how much support they have with the community and their advocacy. So thank you so much.
All right, pleasure to meet you. We do plan on having Manhattan East come present within the next month or two, depending on when the students can come. So I would love if you would come in person with them.
Wonderful, that would be amazing.
Just for the future, because you said this is your first meeting, this is typically the city agencies give announcements and then questions for
Okay,
the.
no worries.
Yeah.
All right,
Thank you.
I have Dr. Kaliris on now, so.
Before we continue on, Dr. Kaliris, do you have anything you need to say?
Yeah.
Joanna?
Hi, everybody. Just want to invite you all to our next CEC meeting, which is going to be at Mosaic Elementary School. We are having the SCA coming and give a presentation, and I know you've been talking a lot about them. So the School Construction Authority will be at our meeting. So feel free to come. It's in person and also on Zoom. So feel free to participate in any way. I'm happy to provide some space for you all to have direct questions with the SCA. So thank you.
Players we have for years been talking about trying to talk to SCA and get direct answers. So for those of you who are a little bit confused with the budget process, it's a really good time to see what exactly is School Construction Authority and what is facilities. So this is very good. Thank you, Dr. Claris. All right. I'm gonna call for CEC 5 one more time. Alright. Seeing no hands, we're not, yes. I'm sorry, what, you have a question for Dr. Claris?
Yes, what day is the next CEC meeting at Mosaic?
December 10th.
Oh, that was
December
the-
10th.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Asher, I don't know if you shared the 3 resolutions that were passed at the last meeting.
No, I said for the next meeting, I'm gonna send them out after this. I didn't have a chance. It was too close in time for us to vote on it.
Gotcha. But so we're happy to collaborate in that as well.
Yes, if you could email them to me, I would appreciate it.
You got it.
Any of them time sensitive, Dr. Calaris?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, no, because Trump is still doing what Trump is doing. So, we just got to keep the squeaky wheel going.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dr. Claris. All right. So now I saw Imani on from the district attorney's office.
You can try for Manhattan High School, but Rosa's not.
Jesus.
Rosa's not here.
I think Rosa told me she wouldn't be able to make it.
Okay. So then we can move on.
I will circle back to her. Imani, are you still on?
Yes, I'm here.
All right.
Hi,
All right.
everyone. My colleague Brianna. Hopefully, you all can hear me. I think she's turning her
If you could
now.
Imani,
Thank
can speak up a
you.
little bit.
You want me to speak up a little bit? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
Wonderful. So it's good to see you all. I'm going to turn it right over to Brianna, who has an announcement about some of our youth programming.
Hi, everyone. Again, just reintroducing myself. My name is Brianna. I'm the Youth and Education Coordinator, specifically for Manhattan North at the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. So I just wanted to say that we're now seeking applicants for our 2026 Youth Ambassador Program. It is a program that, empowers young people to become leaders and advocates for their respective communities. They will discuss and observe quality of life issues and safety or public safety issues within their respective communities, bring it back to us, discuss it in their program cohort, which will eventually lead to a youth-led event. It is a paid opportunity for 16 to 19-year-olds who reside in Manhattan. They will attend, I believe it's 2 weekly meetings, 2 hours each. So that's, I think, 4:30 to 6:30. And then they will attend 1 to 2 community events, typically on Saturdays. And I also just want to say that, forgot one thing. The program will run from January 12th to March 18th. The applications aren't open yet, but they will be open very, very soon. And I just want to add that we're having a virtual info session on December 1st from 6 p.m. to 7:15. So I will drop that information in the chat as well. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can definitely go ahead and ask me or Imani. And I will drop my email in there as well. Thank you.
If you could just say your email out loud to the record before you put it in the chat.
So that's ES as in Sam, P as in Paul, ER, B as in boy, at Danny, DANY.NYC.gov.
Thank you so much. Is there any questions for Brianna, Imani, or the district attorney's office? All right, we have no questions, so thank you so much for being here every month. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna, is Rosa on or no? You said Rosa's not on, right?
Rosa's not on.
Is there any other Manhattan High School President's Council representatives? All right, seeing none. Any other youth education advocacy groups that would like to give an update or announcement? All right, we shall now continue to our agenda. This was meant to be sent out before, but Sage was just gonna present quickly on a budget process thing as we go into our, would that be on new business or could we put it in now?
It's up to you guys how you'd like to do
Are you okay if Sage just very quickly shows a new tool that we're using for our budget process as we restart the whole thing? All right.
Okay, thank you, Ashley. And I'll share my screen right now. I'm Sage. I'm here on behalf of the District Needs and Budget Committee. I've been going to all the committees and demonstrating this tool. The goal of this is to, I'm sharing my screen now, is to introduce you guys to it, get some feedback, and hopefully this will streamline the budget process. I know, and especially with youth and education, last month people, when voting on the budget request, expressed, I don't know, maybe a little bit more time to like absorb what the requests were and how they ended up on our budget request that we submit to the city. And I mentioned via Zoom that like we were working on this thing. And so now this is sort of the introduction of it. We're trying to make it a little bit better and, you know, adjust it within the next month to the feedback that we get this month. And I also shout out to David, who is one of our superheroes on the strategic budget committee as well. Yeah, you can see this. So how this tool is going to work is that there's going to be a button on the website that's very visible, easy to access, and it'll bring you to this form where anybody, members of the public, members of each committee, somebody who comes and wants to present to a committee can submit a request by just filling this out. I'll put in my test email, test@gmail.com. I'm a CB11 member, and a lot of people are unsure of exactly how to like form their budget requests. So this tool eliminates the ambiguity and some of the confusion in that process by filtering out like the options into the formats that are necessary to submit to the city. So if I wanted to make a request related to youth and education, I would, after filling out my information, just say district need category, youth and education and child welfare, which is a category that the city already provides. Submit, and then you have your categories for like what kind of request is it, youth and education, or is it more of a welfare request? I'll say youth and education. And then these are all of the options that the city gives us for the types of requests we can submit. So you can't just say like more funding for, there's like a very expansive like series of options, but you can't say like, I just want funding for like my school, Lexington Academy. You would have to say something like, and I just use Lexington Academy as an example because that is one of your requests. You would have to say like renovate or renovate interior building component or renovate exterior building component. And then in the explanation, you would say test, that's just so I know, renovate windows to Lexington Academy or something. And then you click submit. It gives you this little note that the committee will evaluate your request. And then because you submitted this, the committee chairs,
Yeah, I just got it, yep.
Exactly. Automatically gets this email notifying them that somebody has submitted a request and instructing them that one, the committee at their next meeting should, and we're gonna make a little adjustment to give people like a month of like timed window to like evaluate, discuss, and then vote on it the following month. But this instructs each committee that at your next meeting or you should discuss the proposed budget request and whether to add it to your budget request that you submit to the city in October. And two, if there's an action item the committee can take in support of the request, like a letter to a city agency, like SCA, or a resolution that you like promulgate and the full board will ratify. Or maybe like outreach to a city agency, so inviting maybe SCA to come here, which I know you guys do for like everything, and they, you know, hopefully will come and I should at this meeting where they're going to be maybe a lobby for them.
Well, I will be showing up.
Yeah, good. And then the chair of the committee can easily just click here, the budget request worksheet, and it brings you to this new form of the request worksheet that you guys are already familiar with. And this includes all of the pending requests. So you can see all of the requests that people have made. You can see here it automatically sorts this request related to the school, Lexington Academy. It's assigned to the Youth and Education Committee, and this is the city agency, SCA, that would be responsible for it. And I guess the first month you would talk about it, like what do people think about this? And then the following month, you would come back and you would vote on whether to accept the request or to reject it. And then it's as easy as clicking, and I hope this works, we're working on some of the bugs, but you just click accept the following month. It should disappear.
That's something new.
Good, yes. And then it gets added automatically to your capital requests. And then you don't have to think about it again until October, when you just vote to ratify all of the requests that you've made throughout the year. So the goal is that, and I know youth and education is like particularly good at its budget requests, but the goal is so at the end of the year, you aren't, like people aren't confused. You just have the requests that you've accumulated throughout the year that you've been working on already. And you can just vote to ratify, rank them. The ranking is now a little bit easier than it's been in years past. And that will also give the committee more of an opportunity to like explain things to new members throughout the year. So there isn't just as much of a blitz to be like, we have like 15 requests. Some of them have been requests for years and people are like, wait, like what's going on? So that's the goal with this. I think it also helps that anybody in the community now knows that they can, if they want to, like submit a request and the committee will evaluate it. The committee doesn't have to accept a request. You could say like, oh, actually, like this is a request that already exists. And that would be a good reason to be, or maybe you edit an existing request based off of a submission that somebody submits. Please, James.
First, that was me you had responded to that night, so thank you for that. The question now you raised for me is, so if someone's going on the app, right, and they're filling out for something that's already been requested, will they get an alert? Will they know? And also my second question, what is this expectation for you when it'll be up and running? How soon?
So with it up and running, I'm hoping to, we're going to talk about it at District Needs this month based off of all the feedback I've gotten. Mm-hmm. Then we're going to edit it, try it again, and like make sure it's working in December. And then hopefully we'll roll it out in January by the time we get the mayor's preliminary budget before we start doing our like, outreach to city agencies. So I think January is just like a good time to start. With existing requests, this came up at Human Services Committee when we presented there. Marcel Bondima had the idea of like the submitter getting automatic notifications. Yeah. And I think that's a great idea. I just have to figure out like how to do that. Yeah. Okay. So I'm working with some people who have like better coding experience because this all happens. It's like this really complicated thing, and I'm just learning how to do. There's like code here, and I'm not like a coder. I've been using like AI tools and like YouTube videos to figure it out. But I think it would be great if you put a comment in the pending request thing that's like, this already exists.
And what about on our end? It would kind of be great if you haven't already thought about that. We get to see how often people are requesting that same thing, right? We see because we get to understand what the popularity of it is.
Yeah, I like that. I think initially, because it's going to take some time to like get people used to using it. I don't think there's going to be like that much like we already have this request. But my hope is that eventually we will like just like you'll have requests on the agenda every month, and you're like we're doing this. We can incorporate this request into an existing request. And eventually this will just like streamline the whole process. Gotcha. And it has the added benefit of when people like come to the community board and they're like, I have this idea, and we know that like, oh, maybe this is something that we can request the city allocate funds to. That makes it more responsive to the presentation. So we're not just hearing the presentation and being like, that's great, like good luck. We're like, yeah, we can act on this, and it makes the community board more responsive to whatever people are asking for in the community. Right.
I got 2 little comments, questions, requests, critiques. Yes. I don't know where it really fits. One suggestion, little critique, instead of using AI, I think you should put it out to the board and your committee to see who can help you with that, because I don't know if I necessarily think AI is the best tool to use in general when we have so much talent. That's just, yeah. And also, I just think, my question is, so you are putting in the old requests also on the spreadsheet, right?
So that's something I am thinking about. That's probably the biggest thing is how to incorporate existing requests.
Because if we come back with something that we just put in this year, and then it comes back as they need like further study and like when we submit the responses and stuff like that, I don't want that request to get lost in the sauce of all of this.
Yeah, so my initial thought, and this is probably the biggest thing that I'm seeking feedback on and trying to figure out, is that when we get feedback from the city, I will just like hard submit all of those requests and they will become like new requests. And I'll add a note that says like, this is what the city agency said. So it just appears as like a new request, but there will be like flags in the text, and that's just gonna be like on me to do. I wanna figure out like a better way of doing that, so it's not just like, I just gotta figure out the process. But I'm aware of that, and so if anybody has any ideas on how to do that, I'm all ears, because I just wanna make this as easy as possible.
Alright, I'm gonna take 2 more questions on this, because Sage is very responsive to his email, and this wasn't necessarily on the agenda, so I want to be respectful to people who came to present.
While you're here, Sage, I want to be clear, and also since we have people from the community on, when people are putting in budget requests, when exactly does that start? Because the fiscal year thing is a little confusing, like.
So the budget process, we will get preliminary responses to the requests we submitted at the end of October in January, ideally. And so I want to align like our initial feedback from the city with the launch of this tool, so that in January, like we're gonna just get like a bunch of requests that are all. So my goal is to have this up and running in January and to use it to for people to be able to input new requests, and also to send to all the committees like this is what the feedback we got from the city is.
I also have.
Yeah, and then I'll just say, then there's like several months of like testimony, and we're going to talk about that in district needs and some interface with city agencies. And then in May, they will, the mayor will present the initial executive budget for fiscal year 27, which is what we've already submitted. We have the state of district needs. It sounds far away, but like the fiscal year is really like the year before.
Also, like January to like that like March period is a lot of like hearings. Like that's when the advocacy starts. Like we go up to City Hall, you can sign up to speak. Just quickly, my only thing also, this just came to my mind, because I know we're not the only committee who does this. I know that this is for people to suggest stuff, but I know like our policy and what a lot of the other committees and what at least the president we're trying to set is not putting in any budget requests for people who don't come in talk to us. Because I think that that's a good thing, a good like standard to have. That's my only worry with this, that it's like, yeah, it's good to like hear from the community, like, but I at least for this would think this more is how can you, I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time gathering my thoughts today. How can we reach out to these people when they submit these, that we have them come present, and also let them know that they need to come and present before we really consider it to be just put on the budget request. Because I at least this is what we've spoken about in the past. It's a lot more respectful, like if you're requesting something out of us for you to come talk to us, than necessarily just say, hey, I want this from you. Because that's just also how the report works.
Yeah, so my thoughts on that are, so initially, like, we asked for people's email address, so, and I say, like, we may get in touch with you if there's, like, a follow-up. And this is something we can discuss, but one of my goals is that, like, this makes this process more accessible. So it might not be, like, an organization that's seeking it, it might just be somebody with an idea, and maybe they're not somebody who's, like, comfortable presenting.
Well, yeah, no, I didn't mean it like that. It's not like, of course, there's, like, nuances to everything. I'm just saying, is there some way we can put on a, hey, if you're like a school or an organization putting in a budget request, please contact us so we can have you come and present.
Yeah.
Like for youth and education, at least, I'm not gonna speak for other committees. I'm sorry, I'm being a little nitpicky today.
No, this is exactly what I'm looking for. I think it could also be on the committee to, like, you have their email address, like, maybe you just give them a call and you're like, hey, let's
Yeah,
talk about this. Is this
yeah,
something
no,
you
I'm
can
saying that
present?
also, but I'm saying just, yeah. I'm gonna take two more questions and then we can go. I would like to.
So based on this, supporting Ash's approach to how we do things here in this committee, when a person, organization has a budget request, even that being that widespread, I would suggest that anyone who submits that electronically somewhere, either they do it extensively to support why they're doing it, support they have around it, they should be able to support their idea or their request or need for a request, as opposed to just saying this is what I wanted for us to even consider. If they can't gather the support around it in order to give us what we need, that will discount it.
So what if there's like a question on the initial, what's that?
I was gonna say, I kind of disagree. I think this should be like the first entry point, and that's kind of our job to do the initial research, but I like something that creates as little barrier as possible for people sharing their ideas with us, and then,
But I don't believe that.
I'm not
If
trying.
there shouldn't be anybody else, there shouldn't be there should be somebody else's research before, and we support that research or follow up on it.
I'm not necessarily trying to put up barriers. I think this is very good for community. I'm just saying organizations. I'm not talking about individual people, organizations and stuff, because we have a lot of organizations come up to us, and I do not want to set a precedent that organizations can just request something and then never talk to us.
And I'm saying because he's talking about a whole process that includes everybody, individuals, organizations, and everything. So I'm saying with that need, I'm piggybacking on what we do for organizations. I'm saying anybody could actually have make a submit what they believe should be included in our budget. And I'm saying it should also be a category electronically where they can take it and just file it as a request.
So one thing that this kind of makes me think of is that in this part where it says like, what's your connection to the community? There isn't currently a section that's like, I'm from an organization. I think it'd be great if there's a button that's like, are you from an organization? And then based off of that, there's like a follow-up that's like, okay, you're from an organization, like, what's going on?
That
And-
triggers that,
Yes, and is there like tell us about the support you have, whatever. But if you are an individual, with Jen's idea, your comment.
I don't know,
This is
because I'm like,
just-
how often do you have in your work life, like, to be writing out these long reports of like the issues? Like, I feel like sometimes you just know there's an issue and maybe you don't have the research, but like, I know that we need, for instance, like more support picking up needles in the community. Do I have all that research? No. So if I'm coming from my organization, that to me that's like extra work to put in a request. So I think this can be the initial talking point.
And I think it's
This
So
is-
I'm looking at needles and I want to report needle because what am I basing it on? Because I saw a few needles. Was it needles in other neighborhoods? It gotta be more information to that. It shouldn't be starting here with someone else's request that we do the research.
We're getting into the nuances, and I'm not trying to cut this off, but I know district needs will be talking about it this month, right? So I suggest any like specific concerns you may have. I appreciate Sage coming and introducing this. I would suggest going to district needs and budget because I don't think necessarily having that nitpicky conversation here is the best use of our time. So I'm just gonna forward it to what they're doing. I appreciate everyone's feedback. Thank you, Sage.
Thank you, and thank you everybody for your.
I see both sides very much, but I think that the way that we could have everyone like hash out how to fix this is not here. So, yeah. And we have Zoom now, so.
Yeah, I mean, I would just say you probably should add something as it relates, because I could come as an individual, or I can come through Children's Aid and make an ask.
Yeah, maybe that's what the difference is.
Right.
All right, so.
But there's ask that I can't make for Children's Aid that I can make personally.
Right, so.
Keep my job.
Yeah, so we're not gonna go to, thank you, Tony, for waiting. This was a lot longer than we suspected to. So we're not gonna have a
Good job.
informational presentation from Tony LaBarbera from the Social Mobility Journal. They came and They came and introduced themselves last month, so we're just gonna have a presentation about it.
Just quick. Yeah, just cool. You know, or you could use the dial to sort everything.
So around New York City, there's so many young people with very powerful stories, but oftentimes we lack the platform to tell them. So I created the Social Mobility Journal as a platform for young people to feel empowered by sharing their stories and to share their resilience with the world.
Tony, I'm sorry, just quickly, just the way that we have to do this, if you could just introduce yourself again for the record, so that way when we're like, people are rewatching and they're taking notes. Sorry.
Yeah, so my name is Tony LaBarbera. I'm representing the Social Mobility Journal, and we're a nonprofit organization and a publication. And my story begins near the Marlboro Projects of South Brooklyn with a single mother. His name is Franny. So she was the businesswoman behind the original Rainbow Bagel, if anyone has had one of those. But she became an entrepreneur after years of struggling with homelessness and abuse. And so I learned what it meant to be resilient from my mother. I learned what it meant to take authorship of my story and to fight for a tomorrow that's better than today. Unfortunately, I lost my mother when I was 16 in a car accident, and my twin, who's here tonight, and I became orphans. In the middle of our grief, a guidance counselor gave me a journal. And she said, write every story about your mother that you don't want to forget. Write it over and over again until they become college essays. And they became scholarships. And scholarships taught me that I had a future that was beyond the poverty, the homelessness, the addiction and abuse that I inherited as a child. So our mission at the Social Mobility Journal is to uplift these young people. Can I go back? Yeah, that's fine. It's to uplift these young people with powerful stories and to articulate these stories in a way that opened doors to them. So I came here today to propose a writing competition for this spring where students would submit what looks like a college application essay. This could be for high school, it could be for college, or a scholarship or a summer program. And it would be really short, just 500 words. And they'd have a platform to explain why they deserve to chase their dreams. With every high school, middle school, or educational program that we partner with, there'll be 2 winners, and they'll be able to publish their article on our website, socialmobilityjournal.org. They'll also get some mentorship from my team of editors and a mystery surprise. But everyone who submits their writing to this competition will get specialized edits and suggestions for how they can best shape their story that will position them to get into whatever school or program they'll apply to at the end of the next year. So this is for next spring. The deadline is April 17th for the first round, and this is the week after spring break for many schools. We're already partnering with Regis High School on East 84th, which is my alma mater, and a number of youth shelters around the city through Volunteers of America. So through the website, students will be able to submit all of their resources with their email address and personal information. They'll need parental consent. And we have all of the information about privacy for our students on our website. And there would be a specialized link for every organization that we partner with. All of the students will answer the prompts, connect the dots between the influences in your life that have shaped you. Tell us why you're resilient. So just to give this organization a little bit of credibility, the people that will be reading, editing, and evaluating the winners of the competition are myself and my 3 members of my board, who for many years worked at Forbes. Now they're working at Volunteers of America. I have one board member who's working at the University of California as a professor. I'm a professor at Villanova University and a student at Stanford University. And in the past 4 years, just to afford an education, I've applied to upwards of 50 scholarships in colleges. So I know this process like the back of my hand, and I know how far a little bit of criticism and critique and mentorship goes when writing about yourself for these opportunities. The next steps would look like meeting with English teachers or guidance counselors, principals, or just directors of educational programs that think their students could benefit from this writing competition and these services. I have a number of posters that we could put up in schools or in classrooms, and by April, all of the submissions will be in. We'll go through the edits, we'll give suggestions, and then the winners will be announced and published by the end of the summer in time for next year's application cycle. So I just wanted to leave you all with one last thing before any questions. It's that I think we can all remember a time when we were young and we felt silenced, and we needed a platform for our voice to be heard. So my mission with the Social Mobility Journal is to give students this platform to be heard and to help guide their stories in a way that will open doors for them. Because I believe that social mobility begins with learning to tell your story. My contact information is here, and this is a QR code that goes to our website, socialmobilityjournal.org. And it's thesocialmobilityjournal@gmail.com. I'd gladly take any questions.
Is there any questions for Tony? Jess.
The journal is online or hard copy or?
For now, it's online.
Okay.
We're working on the hard copy, but we already have about 15 students that have worked with us and have published their articles on our journal, which you can read right now.
And this is for high school students.
It's for high school students, but we're also, I know Asher mentioned last time, a lot of middle schools, if they want help with applying for a summer program or a high school or something of the sort, we'd gladly love to hear their perspectives.
Tanya had her hand up and
You actually answered, I wanted to know.
Kira.
Sorry.
I love this. I think that it can be really effective. I wonder if maybe just for East Harlem, we could expand the language to be a little more inclusive of those of our students who aren't particularly, like their first thought is not getting into Harvard, but writing is a really great form of expression for, I think, children, people in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it. That would be my opinion.
Well, that's a great point. Do you have any idea of something that would be more inviting in that way?
I like the writing prompt. I just think that as you move forward with us in East Harlem, if that's where we all decide, I think that this is a really great program and opportunity. I think that maybe just specifically for East Harlem, we adjust the branding and the approach to be more about just the expression. This is East Harlem and we are resilient, period. Maybe we can even make it connected to the history of the neighborhood. Just something specific for us that kind of caters to the demographic a little bit more, so that it celebrates more the art of expression through writing and the point of what am I talking about? Regulation, than like the goal of getting somewhere.
I know not everyone has gone through the website, but just seeing the website, it's not very. I see what you're saying, but it's not very much centered on. From what you could correct me if I'm wrong, Tony. It's not necessarily centered on the college aspect of it. It's just it's like a college-esque essay, that type of college essays. You're telling a story about yourself. I think.
No, I love it.
I think it does do more what you're saying. I understand.
No, I really appreciate that feedback. So thank you.
I love the prompt though. I think it's really beautiful, and I think it's very suited for our demographic too.
So definitely something community-focused. East Harlem is resilient, period.
Not even that you have to change the website, but just in our approach personally, as we pursue partnership with you, we take a little bit more control. District, you know what I'm trying to say. We take a little more control.
Well, for instance, this is an immigrant population, right? So immigrants are resilient people who come to a new world, So I think kind of tying it into more of the cultural aspects of the actual community.
And from what I understand, you guys are basically saying in terms of the going and talking to schools approach. You're not necessarily saying that. Is that what I'm understanding? When they go in, I know I have to go to the community first.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm understanding, like, I'm sorry, just clarifying between David and Kira.
I don't want to speak for you, but us, I think what Kiera is also implying, and I am as well, is know the population you're coming to and try to maybe welcome them in by using, terminology. Like, again, there's no criticism of it. Right. There's no criticism. Just being more sensitive, like how would we reframe it for our kids who are not looking for Harvard, right? That, and I'll just speak for myself. I was a terrible writer until I got to college. And it was only through taking literature classes that I learned how to write better, right? And one teacher, Mr. Pinkett, who was a real tight, opened me up to literature, which was never before, right? And I think I'm a pretty good writer now, but I'm also smart enough to know let somebody else read it before I submit it. But I think, again, in our community, too many kids are staying away from writing, right? Even our writing skills now are texting, right? We don't even communicate in writing in real English anymore. You're a teacher.
I'm gonna go to Tanya, and then I think Safia has something to comment on some of the questions that Jess.
Okay, so my question is, I know you said it's from high school students, but there are a lot of college students, especially with this new administration, that kids are not gonna get enough money and loan money, that they cut that. Is there any way that you can incorporate helping college students write essays to get money? Because, a lot of young people are facing that now with all of these cuts.
Absolutely.
So writing essays, learning how to write to get money to be in college, because, what they're, giving out for loans now, we're gonna see a lot of, kids not being able to go to college.
Absolutely. And I would love to work with any student. On the website as well, there's a tutoring tab. And so you could submit your essays and submit your information with a prompt, and we'll provide any editing for free, of course. So I'd love any promotion of social mobility. Thank you.
And the competition is just high schoolers or also college students? Like, what
So
age in college does it go up to?
I think for the competition, it would be best to just go through organizations. So if we have something like a school, or like, I know there's a number of after school programs that would be the best for the competition. But I also have worked independently with students who just want to write and have their work published, have their voice be heard, and also this tutoring aspect of, I'm applying for something, can you just give me your opinions?
Right. I'm gonna go to Safio, then Jessica, then back to you. Safio.
Hello everyone. So I just wanted to say, in working with Tony and the goal of the Social Mobility Journal, separately but also intertwined with the competition, we do put more of a focus on people's individual stories with the double goal of helping improve their writing. So I do want to address your concerns about that, because that is more of the goal of helping share stories, with a secondary but also equally important goal of improving writing. So yeah.
Thank you. And even it helps with college applications sometimes, just to say I was published in something. Jessica, Kiera, Russell.
Russell hasn't spoken yet, I'm not sure.
Different categories, age categories, a wide range. So they're competing. How do you?
Yeah, so for the competition, it'll be per organization. So everyone from the school, there'll be 2 winners per organization, is what I was thinking.
So like, let's say 2 people from, like, work there, so I'm just gonna say Children's Aid submit. It would be like 3 people, but I'm saying like 3 people from, like, if it was between Children's Aid, it'd be like, and Union Settlement, that's in our after school program we have. It would be 2 from Children's Aid and 2 from Union Settlement.
Yes. And all of them will receive suggestions and edits for whatever they submit.
I've totally lost track. Jessica or?
Yeah, maybe if I can, and then Kira, it's you, right? Okay. Just to circle back, and I think this is clarifying, maybe, and building on the suggestion, specifically the overlay of how to provide a sort of a gateway or point of entry for any one community is an opportunity that the vehicle is established, is here, and I think the concept of social mobility as the baseline is so powerful in what it grounds as far as within a person that ability to sort of move in any direction. That an overlay that is specific to whoever your target audience or participants are, that's something that, you know, can be sort of tailored to suit any community or additional kind of age group. And so my second comment was thinking about an additional layer for those who are trying to get back on track after kind of having been through, you know, a part of life where you are kind of held and supported and provided with these opportunities. There's a middle space where you can get lost, and sometimes finding something like this may be an opportunity for, and there's, you know, that whole network of you know, social service providers and other kind of points of entry that may also be an opportunity where you would get some perspectives that would amplify the social mobility overlay.
Yeah, we have so many people from different schools, organizations at the table, so, yeah.
We were on the same tip, sorry for lack of better words. I'm just wondering, because you said that it's best if we move through organizations. Now I'm wondering, because I think more than anything, it's important to note that our partnership with you would be exactly that. So a lot of that could be our responsibility to establish a lot of these things that are outside of your branding and what your organization does. That being said, like what Jessica said, that's what I was thinking. So would we be able to use, for example, DOE or Eastside Soul, which is the ACS Prevention Center on 111, as center points for that layer of people who want to submit stories and they want to get help with their writing, but they're maybe either are outside of the traditional school bracket, or they just want to write, you know?
So my question would be, I showed you those, like, Regis High School, blah, blah, blah. Could we do something like CB11 or East Harlem?
East Harlem.
Like neighborhood-based,
Yeah.
and so everyone can submit with that.
Pros and cons. And the con is, if it's just children's aid, then 2 of my kids is getting, as opposed to may not get it all. No, that's not what I'm saying. If you open it up to all of East Harlem, that means every CBO, let's say, gets involved, union settlement. So now we're all shooting for 2 spots. If it's all, so my question, and I don't want to cut everybody, where do you get your funding?
So right now, we're still working toward 501c3 status. We're an incorporation in New York State.
Okay.
We're working towards nonprofit status in total, so we don't have funding. This is a passion project right now.
Okay. So we also then have to limit to a degree how many winners we're sending out there, because.
So, yeah. A lot of the funding and prizes and everything are coming from my board members and their organizations as well. But that's a great point. Maybe it would be easiest to, on the form, it's through a Google form that you submit everything. You could say what organization you're from, and I can put a list of every organization, like say we do a school or something, and then everyone else.
So like Children's Aid has 3 community centers in the square, actually 4. 2 of them primarily serve with teens, right? So maybe we could do some with Children's Aid and then entice not just the Lexington Academy where we're at, but then do it with other Children's Aid sites. So you're engaging an organization, and you know, a lot with this is, yeah, if I'm a great writer and I want to be published, but all kids are not necessarily, I want to be a writer and published because they're not exposed to it yet.
So maybe we can just create those partnerships ourselves, right? Like, there's not a limit to how many submission buttons can be on the website. Yeah, and then, but what I also, for the sake of my education while we're all sitting here, I'm wondering how can we be able to make it an East Harlem-wide thing and then use the resources of the local politician situation to go around what David was saying, which is the idea of there only being 2 people allowed. Well, not 2 people allowed, but 2 winners, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think also, Tony, correct me if I'm wrong, people can also just submit in general, like not necessarily the
There was a general
competitions,
submission, but I think, and I'd love to have like a sit down conversation with any of these organizations, and we can have specific partnerships and say from
Work on a
children's
real
aid.
agreement, what we can do.
Exactly, and then we can have like a general neighborhood or East Harlem one for someone who's not affiliated with those specific partnerships. But I would love to sit down and speak with whomever would like to develop those partnerships, and that's also why I came here to maybe open that door.
And if I may further add on to that, to answer your question, we would have it, from what I'm thinking of right now, we can have the idea where East Harlem and then each organization, and then it would ask for people who aren't necessarily in those organizations to submit under East Harlem. So people in East Harlem can do it, but they would have a better shot of getting the winning if they don't submit for like Team Academy, they just do it for East Harlem. So the submissions would choose each.
I would say that if we did it in that model, it would be through this office, that we would do the, because to submit it through an agency, you gotta be associated with the agency.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna just, so there's but I would say if we're committed to doing this as a, entity, and we have to work on our project this year, maybe this is one of the projects we can work on. So that we can advertise through the board and also through your own social mobility, but also that they come through this committee, submissions. And then we work with them to.
I have one question myself before I go to Fernando, because Fernando has been waiting. So for like the middle schoolers, because like I'm just thinking a lot of our after school programs, and this is a budget request we put in every year, a lot of them only go up to middle school. We do not have many high school after school programs. Could it be like middle schoolers submit through the link, like just like the general link? Because I know you're not necessarily opening up the competitions middle schools right now. I'm just trying to,
Through the general link you said, or say there's like a middle schooler based or a younger organization.
Where would you want middle schoolers to submit?
So everyone should go through the website, but of course there's gonna be parental consent, we have a publishing agreement and everything, or say you can't get parental consent for some reason, it would be anonymous with no identifying information, but it would go through online, is what I was thinking.
Also, maybe we encourage the schools within partnerships. So for example, through PS, we did at the Lexington Academy, we would use our own funds to also have winners of our own. We're really just piggybacking off of their program.
That's a school-based question.
Yeah, but just closing it out on like there's a lot of routes, to school house.
Yeah. Sorry, I mean, Fernando.
So, 2 quick questions. Which competition were you just talking about? Was it the Regis High School or Volunteers for America?
So they're all the same, but there'll be 2 winners for Regis, there'll be 2 winners for Volunteers of America organizations, and then right now, with other partnerships that we would establish, we would have more links for each one.
Okay. So that's perfect for my second question. I was just texting an English teacher at Climate Justice, which is one of the high schools.
I was looking at that one because I'm such a granola climate person.
Yeah. No, and she's never heard of it. Yeah. And then she sent this link, and she said, "Which one of these is it?" And then she just asked, "Does the school apply?" So how would an organization like Climate Justice High School go about having one of these buttons to submit?
I could absolutely make a form and just put that there, but I think that's actually so useful. It could be, I have a school and we can submit, and I'll just put up the link and everything after that. I think it would be as simple as that.
Like they get their own link.
Maybe connect.
Yes.
Them together.
Have them email the Social Mobility Journal to see about.
Or I could put it up on the website, just like if you have an organization that wants to partner, submit this form.
Yeah, that would be
Because a lot of her assignments right now that she's been giving are college application, like writing a college application on this prompt, on that prompt. So this would be like that to provide it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
just, you had the list of high schools. So in this district, there's only one high school that's actually part of the district. All the other high schools are citywide and they have a different superintendent. So like even the connection, with the high schools, you go through a different avenue than necessarily the superintendent that was on with us for this district earlier. We can help you navigate actually.
Thank you. It is a bit confusing.
Yeah, because all those schools up there's only one that's ours, and then there's some charters. But in this district, again, citywide, high schools are run citywide.
But we could definitely connect you to, yes. Is there any other comments, questions, suggestions for Tony, for Safiel? Yeah, they are
Thank you.
awesome.
Okay, so here's my contact information. Thank you so much for having me. It was great.
So we shall now continue. Y'all were pretty much almost done, so I appreciate all you working together to different organizations, yes. Is there any old business? I am seeing no old business, so is there any new business? All right, seeing no new business, Khalid, if you could call the roll?
Yes, no problem.
Yeah. So I would cry.
All right.
Write it down.
Fernando Alvarez.
Present.
Thank you. David Giordano.
Present.
John Green.
For the sake of you, who's taking minutes?
John, just taking a roll call right now. You present?
Present.
Yes, thank you, John. Got you. Kara Jerez Alston. James Kemp.
Present.
Malik McCullough still absent. Jennifer Meyer. Jessica Morris.
Here.
Hayward Mouton still absent. Tanya Phelps.
Present.
Asher Rodriguez.
Present.
Isaac Scott excused. Russell Schuler.
Present.
Thank you, Loretta So, still absent. There you go, Chair.
Right. Thank you, everyone. This meeting is adjourned at, what time is it? 7:56. All right, go home. Thank you. If anyone would like to talk to Tony, they will be here for a second. So if anyone would like to exchange information, so say go around asking people. Does anyone have like an email they would like to give Tony?
I just have.